Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm going to start this one on the Call of Duty channel. First and foremost, I want to say, obviously, I am working on producing more content for this channel. Call of Duty is something I've been saying years that I've been wanting to get back into ever since a kid and growing up playing it. We started back in COD 4. Well, yeah, the first ever COD we played was Call of Duty 4. And then we went back and started playing Call of Duty 3, which was very simplistic, especially compared to what it is nowadays. But COD 4 was just, there was the newbie aspects. You had Juggernaut, Martyrdom, Last Stand, then you had the sweaty play, stopping power, extreme conditioning, Spaz 12 was Modern Warfare 2, but you had the W1200, I believe it was, and then the M40A3 for COD 4 back in the days when montages first massively started. Throughout the years, we played a lot. World at War. I don't know if any of you were familiar with Call of Duty World at War, but you used to have the GUA with the grenade launcher, and you'd fire them across the map. And in Hardcore Search and Destroy, these are the days when you never had recoil damage. You used to go into a Hardcore Search and Destroy, and you'd have one guy on your team, especially obviously in COD 4. Vividly, I remember Bog. And some guy would just be there with fucking RPG. You pissed off someone in the team, and they would just go blow your whole team up in instant loss. But yeah, and then obviously World at War came out. They released their first ever beta for Call of Duty. This is the days before we had bundles and shit like that. We used to actually have one double XP, maybe two double XP a year on a bank holiday, and it was worth the grind. Everyone was on. Everyone was smashing it. And then they released Mackin on the beta, and I remember my mate Alex, it was the first time we got into a Call of Duty game. He didn't really play in COD 4, but as we got to World at War, he started to get more involved and then slowly became good at the game. And it's funny, once you get all the lads on, it's a blast. Which brings me to the actual reason why I'm doing this video, because this channel, I want to be able to bring a community around Call of Duty, to be able to host private matches, to be able to host, obviously, other types of game modes, and just have a massive collection of people that can genuinely just play all the time. And we'll have a community where people will always have someone to play, whether it's Hardcore Search and Destroy, whether it's Domination, whether it's TDM, or whatever your cup of tea. You won't see me in TDM. Very rarely you will, only for the camo grind, because that game mode is fucking shit. On the other note, it wasn't just that. World at War introduced glitches, which I think COD 4 had glitches, but they weren't as well known. Obviously, you had Pipeline, where you can go inside the little bomb bit behind the pipes. Backlot, you had obviously glitching out of the top bit. I think there wasn't much, but then I think Crash had one where you used to be able to get higher up to be able to snipe further down the alleyway. But World of War is where it started to pick up on glitches. You had Castle, you can get into obviously under the bridge. You had Roundhouse, where you can get into the garage door and fall under the map. And when you'd got 7 kills or whatever, you got your dogs. And look, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you lot have been when it comes to Call of Duty, but they had contracts at one point, and I swear to God, you were a god when you were playing. Whenever you play Call of Duty, I think they introduced them in Black Ops contracts, and it was funny as hell, because genuinely, it's annoying because I'm being flushed with so many Call of Duty memories that I want to talk about, and you would be a god when playing Call of Duty, and the second you activated a contract like get 7 kills or 9 kills, I think it was, for dogs, you'd be crap. You wouldn't even be able to get a UAV. And the amount of raging we did for such shitty credits, because Black Ops introduced credits, which could be used to purchase stuff or waging them in the party games, as they're called now. Like One in the Chamber, Sticks and Stones, Sharpshooter, and I don't know what the fourth one was. I can't remember. But yeah, so we had obviously those glitches. Hardcore Central we've been playing since very early days. You had game battles as well. So leading on from World of War, one of the most profound Call of Duty games that people love the most is Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, obviously the maps are iconic. We got to experience them last year in the Modern Warfare 3, obviously game with the Modern Warfare 2 remastered maps, and it was a blast. I didn't realize how many shit maps there were on Modern Warfare 2, but a moderate of them are actually fucking tolerable and decent. Um, Especially compared to the Black Ops 6 maps. Holy shit, if the next COD doesn't have good maps, we're fucked. Um, but yeah, eventually I will be live streaming Call of Duty on a more frequent, regular basis in time once the channel grows. So leading into Modern Warfare 2, my first nuke was on Terminal. I think my first nuke was on Terminal. I know that I got a nuke on Rundown because I was 1 kill off and my mate nearly killed me and I panicked and I had 1 bullet in my shotgun and I was like, you know, I was a big Spaz 12 lover, especially for Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy. It used to be, I can't remember what my perks were for it. It was because you had Commander Pro, but I definitely think I was an extreme conditioning person. I think it was Marathon, extreme conditioning, and then something else. I can't remember. But yeah, it's been a good while since we ran the perk system for Modern Warfare 2. This is where you actually first got into hacked lobbies as well, where you'd obviously be able to be Prestige Master within a matter of seconds. But there was always one game mode that always puzzled me. It was interesting because I only remember it so vividly, where I went into this hacked lobby and there was a bunch of people in there and it was kind of like Infected, but it wasn't. I don't know, maybe it was Infected before Infected had released and they found it in the game files and they were playing it. But all I remember is the fact there used to be an in-game purchase system. So you were able to purchase stuff with obviously the point. You got points from killing people, same way you would do in the same way you would do in Infected. Fucking tongue twister. But like, if you killed people, you'd get credits, and it was like the Black Ops system, but in a Modern Warfare 2 engine. And you used to be able to like buy an extra combat axe or perks. But yeah, that was it. Funny. That was a long time ago. Now we're talking 2009. You know, and then the Black Ops era. God. Black Ops 3 is probably got to be one of the most memorable Black Ops games for me. I love the idea of the specialists. Like, if jetpacks and obviously double jumping and a wall running is coming to Call of Duty, I'm all for it. Look, I was a big lover of Advanced Warfare. I would sit for hours and play Advanced Warfare on my own. For the longest time ever. Like, I'd be there and then little noob tubes jumping up in the air. You know. I remember me and my mate, Dave. Well, there was a bunch of us. There was about 6, 7 of us probably always on. And I remember me and Dave were always competing about the next prestige. But I become addicted. When I mean I became addicted, I couldn't stop playing the game. And obviously that's what addicted is. Duh. But I ended up going 3 prestiges ahead of him. Like, the thing is, you used to base it on like a level point. You used to be like, right, a prestige. I'll get to 30 by the end of tonight. I'll get to 40 by the end of tomorrow night. And then what I'll do is go 45, 50, and then when you hit 50, you're like, right, this is the fucking push. And it was always a Friday night, so obviously me and my mate Steven used to stay on till like 6 a.m. in the morning. I think this was COD 4 era, though, because I remember he had the M4 carbine, was the biggest fucking ACOG in existence. And this is how I know that I should be playing Call of Duty on a more regular basis. The fact I can sit here for nearly 10 minutes and talk about the past I've had with Call of Duty says a lot. Like, I don't think I could ever talk about like Pokemon in the same way. Like, Pokemon could be a story. Like, I could do somewhat of a story and some history behind me playing it from a young. But nah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Call of Duty are going to be the main two that I'm focusing my attention on. Main channel for Yu-Gi-Oh! This channel for Call of Duty. But yeah, and then don't even get me started when World at War obviously brought zombies, man. Kino de Toten, you had the classic maps as well. Like, you would sit there for hours, and like most of my friends, most of the bonding time, and I think was solely due to COD Zombies. And this is the thing, I don't want to say I'm lonely. We don't have an audience for Call of Duty yet. So this is the 24th of May 2025. By the time this time next year, I'm gonna say we'll be on 1,000 subs. Like, it depends if we get some vertical shorts and stuff like that. That would obviously massively grow the channel. But ideally, we want to be pushing out as much content as possible. I think once we've got a solid group, solid audience that people want to be involved and play and stuff like that, we'll be playing a lot more. Anyways, yeah, so this channel is mainly going to be focused on Call of Duty. And here we go. Bearing in mind, I've been playing Call of Duty for the last, 16 years? Wait, no, I finished school in 2009. 2007 I started playing it. So what's that? 18 years? I've never quit. I just took a long break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in Call of Duty, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed my talk, subscribe to the channel. Massively appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Call of Duty out. Peace.